The management of UTI AMC is now with us. Mr. Rahman joining us live right now, whole-time director, CEO at UTI AMC. So firstly, congratulations on hitting the market. Of course, it's a dream day for any management to come out and list their company. Could you just tell our viewers about the AMC business, the growth and the change that one has seen since 2014, and how do you see things going ahead? Do you have some comparisons for global players as to what is the percentage of AMC investment over there versus here? How would you look at the next 4-5 years in terms of growth triggers in the market?
Thank you so much, Pankaj. See, we are the member of a very attractive industry. Our industry in the last 5 years grew at the rate of 18%. We grew from 12 lakh crore to almost 27 lakh crore. This has been a great years for us over the period of 5 years. This is a difficult period for us, for the entire humanity, the whole economy. But I am confident, this is my belief, that our industry will continue to grow, if not more, but at the same pace at which we grew. If you see the financializations of the asset post-demand, we did pretty well. And if you compare our contribution to GDP, we contribute only 12% against the world's average of 63-64%. So the great opportunity for us to contribute going forward in our economy, in our GDP. And I think we as an industry has done a terrific job towards the investors' educations. AMFI as a body has done a terrific job. We are still using the IPL as an opportunity. I can't give any forward-looking statement because we are in a silent zone on UTI companies specific. But historically, we have invested heavily in the investors' education's drive. We have been doing this for the last 10 years. So therefore, this is my belief that considering in the investors' educations which we have done, the interest in the market, the GDP growth which may come post-pandemic, I'm sure our industry will continue to be a very, very attractive industry going forward. Pankaj?
Sir, I just wanted to understand, last 2 years have been particularly quite tough for the industry. So, you had that whole Z episode which actually played out, the ILNFS episode which played out, which left a bad taste in the mouth of investors. And then you had the whole Franklin issue as well. Then now, suddenly in the last couple of months, you're seeing equity outflow as well. How would you say industry has responded to such sort of events? Do you think industry has managed well, and when times will be good, flows will once again be back in almost all kind of schemes?
I think the industry has managed it very, very, very well, extremely well. Indeed, we faced the credit issues, but it was not unique to our industry. It's not unique to the UTI or not unique to the AMC industry. Basically, the country had a problem. The country faced the credit issues. And indeed, our industry also faced the credit issues. But I think we, individual as a player, UTI as a company, and all mutual fund put together, we did a very, very good job. There's not a single investor who didn't get the money for the redemption. We manage our liquidity very well. We have reviewed our risk management processes. And I'm sure going forward, our industry will continue to have faith and trust of investors in the fixed income space. So far as the equity is concerned, over the 5 years period, our equity grew from almost 5.5 lakh crore to almost 13 lakh crore. And indeed, last 2 months, because of the pandemic, we have seen the challenges. But if you see the outflow, it is very, very insignificant. We have seen the outflow of 4,000 crore each for the last 2 months on average. It is only 0.5% of our AUM. That indicates that still investor has a lot of confidence in our investment processes as a body, as an industry. But if you see the net addition of folio during the last months, last 2, 3 months, we have added the new folios. So this is my belief that both in the fixed income space and as well as in the equity space, we will grow. When the number of September comes out, I think the entire industry and the country will be very happy and pleased to see the September number. Pankaj?
Right. Mr. Rahman, just want to understand what the outlook is when it comes to your financials. Avan joining in terms of what the outlook is on your top line growth as well as your profits for FY21.
See, first of all, I must tell you that I can't give you the number of FY21 because I'm the silent zone. But indication is that we are on our growth trajectory. What we have, our outlook is very simple. We want to build a scale, we want to maintain quality, and we want to drive the profitability. And therefore, we have put in place the all required levers to capture our growth. So, Aman, what we have the oldest brand to manage. And this brand is the household name in our country. We have a bouquet of the products and we are extremely focused on the product and customers, and these products, particularly our flagship schemes, are performing very well. We have a team in place, we have a process in place, and we have very deep distribution reach to distribute our product. So our outlook is extremely positive, and as we have a strategy to capture high yielding asset, we will definitely be driving the profit and it will be on the better side. Avan?
Okay, fair enough. And given that digitization has definitely assumed a greater focus, especially at the times of COVID, how are you seeing your distribution mix shaping up? What is going to be the strategy in order for you to expand your consumer base? Will you also have to focus on re-strategizing and looking at digitization in a greater way?
Basically, the digitizations is the need of the day. But fortunately, UTI is the early investor in our information technology. We had the services of Accenture almost 3 years back, and since then they have been reviewing our processes. And we have put in place a very robust infrastructures to cater the need. We have a mission to cloud first. And therefore, we have all the right application in place, one for our IFAs and another for our investors. So our digital strategy is the users, right from the user's interface to the user experience and servicing, it has to be the world class. We are committed to invest aggressively in our digital strategy, and that will help us not only in optimization of our cost, but also to mobilize the new asset, particularly to attract the young India. So what we have done in place, folks, I'm very happy to share with you, we have hired a head of digital strategy, and he has joined today. Today is the first day in our office, a very important day. And we are going to invest heavily in broad basing our bandwidth so far as the digital or the digital marketing team is concerned. So we are fully committed to invest in our digital strategy, and that I believe that will help us significantly in enhancing our share of wallet in direct or the digital space. Avan?
Right. So if we just look at yeah, right. So Pankaj here. So just if we just look at your target market, so it will be a lot of HNI people who tend to invest on a one-off basis. Then you have the SIP book, which comes in probably from the retailers, and maybe some others. So can you just talk to us more about the rise of the retail participation? Is that something which you are further banking on when you say that via the digital route you are going to tap much more younger Indians? That is what you are targeting at. That is something which will see a rise, which in turn will lead to benefit AMC as a sector.
Pankaj, basically we need to distinguish between the top 30 cities and beyond 30 cities. The top 30 cities will be a combination of both HNI and the retail, where UTI as well as the industry has a high intensity and focus to capture the market and to basically get the benefit of financializations of the asset. UTI is fully committed to capture this particular opportunity. And then there's another market known as beyond 30 cities. In beyond 30 cities, if you see the data, the asset is growing in beyond 30 cities. And therefore, UTI is in a position to capture that market very well because our brand is a household name and we have invested heavily in deepening our branch offices or distribution network across the length and breadth of the country. So basically, you can't have distinctions only on whether the HNI will come or retail will come. Both these segments will be participating in the journey of asset management business in India when we target at least 20% contribution to the GDP. And UTI is well positioned to capture both the top 50 market and the beyond 30 market. Because of the brand we have, performance we have, distribution reach we have, and the pricing advantage what we have. Plus, very important for any end to run this particular business is the management. We have a talented pool of individuals to manage asset of investors. And I'm very proud to be associated with such team, with my team. Pankaj?
Right. Right. So I also just wanted to understand one thing. So, whatever you have told us, the growth part for the AMC industry is strong. And within that, of course, UTI is a great brand, plus the opportunity beyond 30, will all help you grow. Can you just tell us about this industry itself that, as size comes in, how operating leverage plays? Because costs don't tend to increase, with the sort of increase in AUM, and plus with digital, even your distribution expenses will really be lower to capture new market share. So can you just tell us about the operating leverage which can play out, say, over 5-10 years for the industry as the size will grow?
As you know that we don't need we don't need to increase our operating expenses to manage asset if we grow multifold. So therefore, if we continue to, as an industry, if we continue to grow on equity and hybrid space of the business, and we also aggressively market the high yielding fixed income product, the operating level will be very, very positive. And it will definitely be on the north side, because our expenses is, other than the direct expenses like R&D and other expenses, is not exactly linked to the growth. And therefore, I'm sure that we will be in a position to monetize and capitalize the opportunity which we have in growth, and we will be in a position to enhance the profitability of the AMC.